Okay, so we have finally begun our fertility program here on the farm. That's up next. Hello everyone, this is Dwayne with Edge of Nowhere Farm, and we're coming to you here today. It's actually the end of July 2019. So what you see behind me here would be our first wood chip drop. So obviously one of the things that we have set up here, in fact I'll link it, we did set up an area here on the farm towards the back end of the farm specifically for wood chip deliveries. This is the first of many that we'll need. So let's talk a little bit about what we have here and why we have it and the importance to the farm. So let's talk a little bit more about the delivery we got, what's in here, and the benefits that I already see to us here on the farm. Right off the bat, what I can see is I can see a lot of pine. What some of you are probably thinking, pine, oh no, it's acid. Well, yes, that's a good thing for us here in Arizona. Our soil is very alkaline, so having some acidity on top of the soil, definitely not gonna hurt us at all. If anything, it'll benefit us. I'm assuming a lot of what we have in here is probably the remnants of a pine tree for somebody in the city. Got some pine needles over here. We're looking through here, of course, I actually have some wood, which is definitely what we want. And it's in varying stages of decay. So some of it's fairly new, so I can see this is really fresh. So really nice, good, new, fresh wood chips and wood. Then let's talk a little bit more about the size and just how much more we're gonna need. So here we are at the southernmost point of our property, right on the property line here. So to give you an idea, that pile is about halfway between the edge of our property line and our house. You can see our house there, and our house actually sits about 40 feet back from the property line. So that's about midpoint to the property. And for reference, that little tiny pile next to our truck, our full-size truck, they're about the same size. So it's a good amount of wood chips. For most people in the city, that would actually probably be just fine. That would fill up your driveway, a typical driveway in the city. So that'd get you a really good start, if not completely done with wood chips on your property. For us here though, it is just a fraction of what we're gonna need for what we have planned. Let's talk a little bit more about the reasons why we want so much in the way of wood chips. Now, obviously, first and foremost here for us in the desert, the goal for us everywhere where we're gonna have anything growing, which hopefully is the majority of the farm, water is our biggest concern. We are in the desert, we do have a well. We wanna make sure that where we do put water down on the ground, we minimize the amount of evaporation. We wanna make sure we're maintaining soil moisture as much as we can. All of our plants are gonna need that desperately to survive, especially here in the summertime. So obviously having mulch on the ground, heavy mulching, is gonna help us with maintaining and keeping moisture down where we want it, which is around all of our plants. Second thing is going to be fertility. So it actually works as a basic compost because it does start breaking down. So wherever we have water, wood chips are going to start to break down. As they break down, they're going to create a humus layer, and that humus layer is basically just broken down material that is actually very beneficial for soil microorganisms, which really starts to generate that soil life that is most beneficial, especially when we're talking about our trees, because long term, we're talking about trees that are going to be here for years and years and be productive for years and years. And we want to make sure we're maintaining and just growing that soil life. So this will essentially be the foundation for the fertility of the entire farm. So we also use wood chips for just aesthetics. So one of the nice parts about having wood chips on the ground, even when they're in this state, but particularly when they start to break down, they become very even as far as color. Give a very clean aesthetic look, especially when you're looking at the orchard areas. Very defined rows, so we can use this to define our rows. So aesthetically, especially in a farm setting, the wood chips are going to look fantastic. So lastly, and back on the topic of fertility, we do use wood chips when we're doing some of our composting. We've talked about this before. In fact, I'll link a video here. We actually use wood chips mixed with pig manure, and that actually is our go-to source for fertilizing a lot of our fruit trees. So it creates a fantastic fertilizer that really does a great job of encouraging and attracting one of gardeners' most important, and I would say probably best friend, and that would be worms. One of the things we found as we've composted pig manure is worms love it. So it is just infested in our pig compost and pig composted manure. You have worms everywhere. And of course, worms inside wood chips, living down underneath, they're creating gardener's gold in worm castings. So lots of uses for wood chips that we'll have here on the farm. Really looking forward to getting this pile used here in the next few months. And of course, we just need a whole lot more. So really excited to see the wood chips here finally on the farm, the beginning of our fertility program here behind me as we're finishing up the house, getting ready to move on to the property. We really have a lot of work cut out for us in getting a whole lot more of this delivered. You know, we've probably got about, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 yards of it right here. We need at least a couple hundred yards really to kind of get started. So got a lot more to do, but great to see this and see this finally starting to take shape. So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Questions or comments, leave those in the comment section down below. Instagram and Facebook, we post content there you won't see here on the YouTube channel. And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That is a free, painless way to help support the channel. As long as you use that link when you start your Amazon shopping, you help to support us here. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere, so can you. Farm is just fun. What's up?
Sorry.
What'd I say?
Your sunglasses are broken.
Are you kidding me? The heck? Man! Big time. We have to just have to kind of get through it. That's the problem. You got cheap sunglasses. Is that a little better?
A little.
I can't see if I don't have them on. I can't put yours on, the bug eye ones. I should have brought some tape. I've always felt pretty nerdy anyway. You can totally see it, huh?
Well, obviously it was in the whole video.
Okay, I'm just gonna stare into the sun. For all the haters that are wondering why I wear sunglasses all the time, this is why. Because I can't see a dang thing. Let's do over. Yeah, because I can't see staring in the sun.